Hello and welcome to IndiGlobal Media Network H-Factor. H-Factor is an initiative of IndiGlobal Media where we bring scientific research-based insights from healthcare leaders, policymakers, innovators, empowering transformation. IndiGlobal H-Factor today brings to you Manipal Hospitals, who have launched Tele-Consultation for women by women on February 14, 2022. Teleconsultation, especially for women, is a unique initiative as it addresses the medical problems of women in a specific manner. It is also makes easy for women to access a doctor using their mobile phones. This initiative takes digital healthcare to a focus and specific area. Today, we welcome Mr. Karthik Rajagopal, Chief Operating Officer of Manipal Hospitals, Bangalore, who will talk with us about their initiative. Please welcome Mr. Karthik Rajagopal. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Kanisa. Good evening. And thanks
Yeah,
for having me on the show.
yeah. So we would like to know what made Manipal hospitals opt for digital healthcare for women by women.
See, I think, Kanisa, it's been a long need. Most of the time, I think families construe women as super women who do not fall sick or, nothing happens to them, etc. And therefore, given that status, women find it very, very difficult to actually go ahead and disclose any of their, health problems or the requirements, the needs around health. And it becomes very, very difficult, for them to go ahead and portray that they are weak, etc., even though there could be problems lingering on inside. So, this particular format of a digi consultation obviously gives those women a lot of privacy and the need to go ahead and disclose that they're actually physically reaching out to the hospitals, etc. Not that it's not necessarily the fact that women don't have problems, but men are not very, very capable of handling issues like this. They tend to panic a lot, and there is frantic behavior at home, and this is being researched most of the time that men don't handle health problems of their spouses too well. They don't take it too well. They're not as resilient as women are, so as strong as women are, so they're not able to take this negative news. So this is something that would obviously help a number of women who probably maybe actually suspecting some issues or the other to come forward, talk in a very, very private environment with a clinician and then get it sorted out. So that is the reason why we opted for digital consultation.
Okay. Sir, as you explained, before the online mode came in offline also there were women who were consulting. So was it seen that most of the times women came late, or is it that they came after a long period of time after suffering at home?
See, I think it points out to the latter, Kanisa. Many times women do definitely come in a little late because they tend to actually go ahead and hold on to discussing, health issues, whether at home or with a medical practitioner. So the, most of the times they used to come in a tad bit late, which probably was a little unnecessary. And if it's a health issue, it needs to be actually nipped in the bud. But that was not actually going ahead and happening given the reasons that I told you. And
Mm-hmm.
therefore, this probably we do believe that this initiative will get women to actually open up much sooner than what they were doing in the past with physical consultations.
Okay, so can we say that during the pandemic, it was felt that since online is a mode where people are accessing medical care, this is an initiative which is taking it one step further?
See, in the last 2 years, India has opened up telemedicine, and there's been a lot of maturity around digital consultations. However, it was meant, for people who came forward were the people who actually required physical care as well. So this is actually taking it the next step in the sense that the entire intention is for women to actually come in and start discussing their issues, early. And to that extent, well, this will definitely go ahead and, help quite a bit.
Okay, so what is the way in which you all are reaching out? Meaning there will be some people who would want to speak in their own regional languages. So will it also address those things, because somebody may call from Gujarat or someone may call from Haryana. So is the language going to issue thing also be looked into?
Absolutely, Kanisa. India is a country made up of so many regional languages. I don't know whether we'll be able to cater to
Okay.
everyone, but the intent is to actually go as regional as possible. The doctors that we've actually gone have gone ahead and chosen, the three of
Hmm.
them speak a total of six languages, including English. So that would be five regional languages,
Okay.
and I think four regional languages and Nepali. One doctor actually speaks in Nepali. The intent is to actually get as close to women as possible, because we've seen that as far as health is concerned, it's a very very personal thing. I mean, women are probably, when not only women, everyone is better expressive in their own language. So therefore. Our intent is to go as regional as possible. So over a period of time, as we actually start to get more doctors on board, and we are a fairly national chain right now. We're in about 15 cities. So as we start to go ahead and see more and more clinicians coming in from these 15 cities, we should be able to go ahead and add up more regional languages.
Okay. It's very interesting that you have added Nepali. So are you looking at women who will also call from Nepal, or
See,
people from Nepal who are in India will also access it?
yeah, see, in the sense that it's for both, India is from a Southeast Asia, SAARC, Middle East perspective, a large
Hmm.
country that actually provides the medical value travel options to them. So I think opening up borders also will be very, very good. To that extent, maybe Arabic, Nepali, etc., would be valuable additions for us. And so if a doctor is pretty much multilingual, it's only going to go ahead and help someone.
Okay. So what was the kind of training that you had to give your doctors? Because digital consultation is different from on offline consultation. So did it require, upskilling them, reskilling them?
See, Kanisa, I mean, 2 years back when we'd actually opened up, telemedicine or teleconsultation, obviously there was a lot of nervousness around.
Mm.
Clinicians were a bit skeptical, patients were a bit skeptical. But 2 years on, and I think there is a lot of maturity that has actually gone ahead and happened. So right
Okay.
now, I think, I mean, obviously, in some cases, a physical consultation, adds to the comfort of both the doctor and the, patient. But I think there's a lot of maturity that is right now gone into the video consultation format. Technology is improved, etc. So to that extent, I think most clinicians have become a lot more seasoned right now in terms of what questions they need to ask, what is the response they need to elicit from the patients, etc., to actually go ahead and fairly diagnose a problem. So I think to that extent, over a period of time, trial and error, etc., over the last 24 months, there's been a lot of maturity around video consultations.
Okay. So does this mean that most of the doctors are now digitally skilled in terms of consultations? They know when a patient is actually telling them the problem or the patient is trying to avoid and telling some other problem. Could you?
Absolutely, Kanisa. See, digital consultations will be the way to the future. So the only way actually we can actually open up borders, we can, India still suffers from a little bit of inequality when it comes to the distribution of super specialty health. So therefore, there would be people from smaller regions trying to go ahead and get in, touch with doctors, etc., over the video consultation network as data capability improves in the country. So I think most of them, by force, will have to go ahead and look at getting baptized as far as digital consultation is concerned, because that's a way for the future. So they also understand that they will have to be digitally savvy. So most of them are looking at that, and so I think over the next couple of years, etc., everybody would be very very comfortable using the digital technologies as more and more people shift towards using digital technology for consultation. Because today there is definitely a lot more comfort with both clinicians and patients to use this medium.
Okay. And sir, will this also be taking into account the emergency cases if you get any calls for emergency from women?
See, I mean, obviously, in the area of medical care, of course, if there is any emergency, etc., this is currently open between 10 a.m. and 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. So, to
Hmm.
that extent, whatever we can handle from a medical perspective, it will be there. So, I mean, this is a product that we want and a service that we want to evolve over a period of time. Currently, I think the scope is to get women to go ahead and communicate a lot early, and we will, as we progress, look at the response, etc., and start to go ahead and add verticals around, of which one of them will definitely be emergency care as well.
Okay. And what about the data? There is a lot of concern in terms of data security and the data of the patient. So, what steps are being taken to ensure that the data is safe?
See, we use a very advanced hospital information system, and therefore, all our records are actually within the hospital information systems only. So, and we give accord very, very, great importance to data security, etc., and patient privacy. So that, be it online, offline, etc., would be adequately protected. So I don't think they have any reasons to actually go ahead and get worried about it.
Okay, and how are you going about reaching out to your patients saying that this digital healthcare initiative is around? In the sense, what are the different mediums that are being used apart from the media to reach out to them?
See, currently, I mean, if you really look at how it works, is there is a telephone number that is given, and there is
Mm,
an admin assistant who actually picks up and triages the call accordingly, and then the
mm.
doctor calls back the a patient within 10 minutes and starts to go ahead and consult. And as we actually start to go ahead and see the response, etc., we wanted to go ahead and look at starting a little small baby steps to see how the response is. And once it starts to go ahead and come up, and we do believe that women are coming out more, and we do have a product that has actually gone through all its teething problems, and we've sorted things out. Then I think it's going to be communicated, extensively across, all media, etc. And the best thing for healthcare is word of mouth. And if women are finding the service to be good, they're definitely going to go ahead and talk in their social network, etc. So the traditional communication channels will continue. We wanted to actually take baby steps, look at the response, and then start going ahead and opening it out, in a big way.
Okay, so now since on February 14th you all launched it, what was the response that you all saw? How
See,
was it,
we've
the initial?
we've completed about close to around 7 to 10 consultations right now, and we had somebody calling in from Hubli, which is a in Karnataka, a little away from Bangalore. So the response will be there, and I think as we start to go ahead and increase our communication channels, start to go ahead and make more noise, women, I'm sure, will go ahead and come forward and make use of the facility. So the initial response has been good. People are coming forward. We're getting calls. People wanting to. The curiosity factor is there for people to go ahead and find out what exactly is the service. What can I talk to the doctors about, etc. See, because women at all ages, Kanisa, have a certain bit of circumspection when they actually go ahead and speak about their health issues. So if we actually open out a channel wherein they would be able to go ahead and speak in an uninhibited manner, we should be able to go ahead and get a lot of response. So I think from 14th to where we are on the 16th, we've got about, I guess, 10 consultations that we've actually gone ahead and done. I'm sure more to follow.
Okay, okay. All right, all right. So we wish you best of luck for this initiative, and we are looking forward to you doing quite well on it. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rajgopal.
Thank you so much, Kanisha. Thanks for having
Thank you.
me on the show. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah.